more sheep as a lamb.
I mean, let's go hyperbolic on this one, man.
That's what I want to do.
My name is Dan Choi, C-H-O-I. I was a lieutenant in the U.S. Army until I was kicked out under Don't Ask, Don't Tell. I'm a gay rights activist, and I came down to Atlanta to help celebrate the raising of this tent.
And what's going on with that?
Today, the Occupy movement has continued to grow, and we're seeing that the tent that's being raised, a place for all people to come and to engage in activism, to stand up for their rights as well as the livelihoods of other people. This tent will help facilitate that.
And where did the tent come from?
Firedoglake is an organization online that supports all of these progressive ideas. People come together and they support each other. It's a military tent, so Firedoglake purchased 5 of them and held a competition. Said all of the occupations, all of the Occupy encampments around the country and around the world could compete. Atlanta, Occupy Atlanta, was the most active of all of them, and so this is the first stop on my trip of a couple of the encampments around the country to deliver such a tent. It's a military tent, a general purpose tent here. I think when people see the symbol of a tent, they see many things. A tent generally is known as a place of shelter, but it's also known as a place to hide, and that's one difference between this tent and other tents. In the tents we put up, it's not the purpose of hiding that we're seeking. We don't want to hide. We want to expose. We want to expose what's really going on in the world, and we want to be transparent about the problems we have so that we can fix them better. There's warmth that we usually share on the inside of a tent, but what these tents have done is really blazed a fire around the world that when you see those people who stand up, it warms your heart and it tells you you can do something too. Tents are usually temporary. They're raised up and they're taken down. But this tent here has created a symbol that will be permanently etched into many people's hearts, that some people in 2012, in this time, were able to stand up for what was right.
Perfect, thank you.
I was at the Glen Iris, the street where the Pittman house, there's such an amazing story there. And I was able just to visit for a few minutes yesterday night, but to know that there are people who will help those in the most need when the banks try to steal from them and raise up their prices so that they are forced to get kicked out. Just the very act of sitting and not moving has done so much to educate people about the situation of the banks here and what they do, try to move people out and sell the land for who knows what their agenda is. So it's raised a lot of questions by just a small group of people saying we will not let our neighbors be kicked out of their homes. And that's been more than just a news story for whether this movement succeeds or fails or how much attention it gets. What it does is shows what the movement is really about. And if 5 or 6 people heard about it, then that's good. And those people will tell others, and that's good. I know that the Occupy Wall Street, Zuccotti Park, activism has got more international attention than, say, for instance, the Occupy Atlanta. But what we're doing here is changing the perception of what this movement is by saying community-based and locally we can show that this movement is more than just what you see on CNN or Fox News, but it really does matter to the people that know the homes and people that are in them. That's what's most powerful about this.
Have you been down to the AT&T occupation?
I have. And I didn't know about AT&T doing things that they were doing. So that was educational for me. You have to understand, just because I'm on TV doesn't mean I know anything. Sometimes I just go on. I don't have cue cards, but you know, I come to these places and I learn. And I don't know about what these corporations are doing. Have
you been to any other occupations?
I have. I've visited the New York and the LA, as well as the Delaware. occupation, and I intend after this to go to Flint, Michigan, Salt Lake City, Utah, and Fairbanks, Alaska.
Cool. What are some of the things that other occupations are doing that you think
It's
are...
very important to learn some of these lessons. Every occupation is molded by its history of police interaction, of the political atmosphere, of the corporations that are near those cities, about the people who have come in, the proportions of homeless versus activist.
Can you tell me who Firedoglake is?
Yeah.
It's not a person, Firedoglake, and it's not a dog. It's a group of people on a blog that just started a community, activists, and they get together and they support other people in their causes. They've successfully signed petitions and coordinated actions. They got Bradley Manning to have a less severe situation that he's in. And they've raised attention to many different issues, including Don't Ask, Don't Tell, the military, and a lot of what's going on with the Occupy movement.
And so they had this contest. Was it Firedoglake that had the contest?
That's right.
And how many occupies were chosen?
Well, there were 5 based on all of the activity that the movements and the encampments were engaging in. So they voted, and among their population of about 1 million viewers and readers and writers, and they decided that Atlanta was among the top in the entire world. So they sent a tent here.
And they based that on?
It was very subjective, but it was based on the activities that an occupation does.
Mainly foreclosure? Was it foreclosure here in Atlanta?
That's what was Atlanta's main work that they put out there for people to decide on.
And this is what this is a big tent. Is this like an 11 by 11 tent?
This is a military regulation, general purpose tent, and many plans are made through tents such as these, and I hope that this occupation also learns from some of the stick-to-itiveness of military folks that have done planning in tents like this.
It seems to have wiring in for lights.
You want to come inside?
Yeah, give us a little tour.
Yeah, I want to go inside.
Should we have a tour?
I want a tour.
Well, I don't know if I have permission to go in.
Of course.
Okay.
You brought it here, didn't you?
Okay, so we're going to get a tour inside.
Yeah, why don't everybody come on in too, so you could help me give the tour.
And he's going to remain.
Welcome home.
So this is an 11 by 11 tent.
This is an... I'm not going to give the exact specifications because I haven't measured it. Might have gotten a little bit smaller or bigger based on the love that's in here.
So it's got windows.
It's very homey. This atmosphere allows anybody to come on in and enjoy not only the inside but the outside and share the message that we come together and explore here and we come up with here, and we allow anybody to be part of that message of love and inclusivity. And we want to tell people that you're welcome no matter where you are in the country. There is a group of people in your neighborhood who's not afraid to stand up a tent. So thank you all for being here at our little housewarming, our tent warming.
Cookie?
Little one-person.
And on behalf of Firedoglake, I just want to thank you all for your activism.
Thank you.
Thank you, Firedoglake.